Islam. You have definitely heard of it. Every week, we occupy page #1 on every newspaper. Believe it or not, we're #1. Oh yeah. We just love the spotlight. We don't even have to pay for that position on the newspaper, except with our lives.
You kind of have to do a cost-benefit analysis before you decide. Call a friend.
But seriously, we don't want the spotlight anymore. We've had our 10 minutes of fame. We're over it. So just, you can take it back. No charge. Just take it back. We don't want it. Just take it. Seeing Muslims make the news every single day for all the wrong reasons kind of makes you wonder, what is Islam? So, in all honesty, I would love to invite our favorite friends, Fox News and CNN, to let us know what they think Islam really stands for. Because if you can't trust the mainstream media backed by multi-billion-dollar corporations, who can you trust? And honestly, how bad could it really be?
And welcome back to Hannity. Now, although the world is focusing on the ISIS terror network in Iraq and Syria, we must point out that the rise of radical Islam is not just confined to the Middle East.
Absolutely, because they're violent, because they threaten us, and they are threatening. They bring that desert stuff.
I think Islam hates us. There's something there that there's a tremendous hatred.
But if we're talking about terrorism, the major threat is still Islamicism.
Areas was in reaction to ISIS demanding convert to Islam or die.
Whoa. Why is it that the mainstream media always brings non-Muslim experts to explain their in-depth expertise about Islam? Why don't they bring an actual Muslim who knows their religion to discuss matters relating to Islam? And by Muslims, I don't mean an ISIS representative, I don't mean an Al-Qaeda representative, I don't mean the ambassador of the Taliban. I mean actual Muslims. Not that one dude in the Sudan who lives across the street from some extremist dude who has a black belt in oppression and injustice. Just bring actual Muslims. We're everywhere. There's like 2 billion of us or something. Since when are we believing our enemies? Since when are we believing anything that ISIS has to say? We don't even trust our own scientists who tell us global warming is real. And yet we go ahead and we believe ISIS?
What is going on here?
Asking a non-Muslim expert to explain and dissect certain things about Islam is like asking someone who has never studied medicine in their life and telling them to go operate on a patient based on what they've seen on Scrubs. It's like bringing someone who has never taken history in their entire life and asking them to explain what happened in World War I. Because you're just going to get an argument that sounds a little something like this. It's pretty obvious. You see, the Russians and the Ottomans killed the blacks and the whites. It's pretty obvious. The end. Any questions? In almost every country, no one is allowed to practice or work in any field unless they have the proper designations and certifications to do so. But I guess when it comes to journalism, all the rules are thrown out the window. It's just a free-for-all. So why don't we start trusting actual Muslims who know a thing or two about Islam and asking them about certain issues that are happening around the world. I prefer that over someone who just shows up on set and makes things up as they go along. That never ends well. And finally, the answer to the question that the media just will not answer for us. Or we could have easily just Googled ourselves. What is Islam? Simply put, Islam is a monotheistic religion, just like Christianity and Judaism. As Muslims, we believe in one God, and we believe in all the prophets of God. From Adam, to Noah, to Abraham, to Jacob, to Joseph, to Moses, to Jesus, and to Muhammad, peace be upon them all. Where Christians have the Bible, and Jews have the Torah, as Muslims, we have the Quran. And the religions of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are all referred to as the Abrahamic religions. Now, a Muslim is the follower of the religion of Islam. Now, Islam has been translated by many people to mean the word peace, but it doesn't literally mean the word peace. In Arabic, the word peace is salam. In Arabic, when we say hello to each other, we say assalamu alaikum, or may peace be with you, or may peace be unto you. The word Islam encompasses many words. Amongst those words are sincerity, submission, and obedience to God. Now the interesting part. Which God? Is it the evil, scary, punishing God? Is it the Arabic God they call Allah? The name of God in Arabic is Allah. And there are so many other names. Muslim Arabs, Christian Arabs, Jewish Arabs call God Allah. So we obey God and do our actions with sincere intentions, which results in inner spiritual peace. So what do we do to obey God? Do we kill the infidel? Do we stone people? Do we whip people? Do we oppress people? It depends on who you ask. We worship the God that tells us to pray 5 times a day. We worship the God that tells us to be kind to our neighbors. We worship the God that tells us to treat all religions and races equally and peacefully. The God that tells us to treat everyone with justice and to not oppress or transgress. The God that tells us to treat our parents well, to treat our families kindly. The God that tells us that we have obligations towards our family members and relatives, our mothers and fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, our wives or husbands or kids. The God that tells us that there is no compulsion in religion. The God that tells us that when we are approached and confronted by the ignorant, to say words of peace and kindness. The God that tells us to lead a balanced life. That is the God that we worship. So please, stop these hate injections, and rather than going around spreading ignorance, actually educate yourself about this topic. Go read up on it. It's the information age. Google it. And don't go to www.ihateislam.org and think you're gonna find accurate results. Because you're not. If you want to learn about Islam, the best way would be to go to the source, the Quran. Preferably one translated in your language, because I don't think everybody here speaks Arabic.
I don't even think many Arabs can speak Arabic. That might not be true.
You should also listen to these Muslim scholars, such as Ahmad Didat and Zakir Naik. Other people include Nu'man Ali Khan, and certain converts to Islam, such as Yusuf Estes, Khalid Yassin, and formerly known as Cat Stevens, Yusuf Islam. Those people might be a little bit better and a little more reliable when it comes to Islam than those people. Just a little bit. And remember, Muslims are humans too. They make mistakes. So don't take the mistakes of one Muslim and generalize over a population of approximately 2 billion people. That's all the time I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. And please like, share, subscribe, follow. The links are all below. And until next time, Assalamu alaikum, and may peace be with you.
If this video gives you a stroke, diarrhea, constipation, internal bleeding, or any abdominal discomfort, ask your doctor if racism is right for you. Ignorance sold separately. Logic not included.
Joseph, Jesus, Moses, to Abraham, to Jacob, to Joseph, to Joseph. Is it the... What is it? Sincerity, submission. Albab. I might have to edit this part out, so...
Oh, that's a video?
Oh yeah, I'm recording. I'm gonna edit you.
Actually good.
The religion of ISIS and Al-Qaeda and the Taliban and all those brothers and sisters.
Those big beards.
I'm definitely editing that part out. That was not expected.